sticks with us. Like a personal soundtrack. For Andy Babiuk, one early favorite that stuck with him was the Rolling Stones.
You know, I've seen them a lot of times play live. You know, we bought all their records when they came out. I mean, they're just a huge influence on me personally as far as, you know, the type of music I play.
And a huge influence on a project, 9 years in the making.
It was a little bit of an undertaking.
A book called Rolling Stones Gear, which chronicles just that. 672 pages of stories and photos covering the band's 50-year career. An epic story chronicling every studio session and every tour told through the band's instruments.
My feeling was that you can't just cut out sections of the Stones. If you're going to report and be a proper historian, you have to take from the beginning to that moment.
Now you might ask, how does a Fairport music store owner and longtime Rochester musician get that kind of access?
Well, it's not like you call up Keith Richards and say, hey, I want to photograph your guitars. It's a big process, as you can imagine.
The band gave its approval, and co-author Babiuk gained access to literally thousands of pieces of gear. He went for the most important guitars, the Brian Jones Teardrop, Keith Richards' famous black Telecaster.
I had this serial number for it on the original receipt. I found the guy who sold it to Keith in '75, and oddly enough, he took a picture of Keith buying it.
And there's another famous Telecaster given to Richards by Eric Clapton, which Babiuk himself had a chance to play.
It was definitely more fun with Keith's guitar.
Stones Gear took Babiuk 9 years to finish, which is a year shorter than it took for him to complete his previous book. Babiuk spent 10 years penning Beatles Gear, for which he was also given unprecedented access. On that, he recalls a recent conversation with a guy at a music convention.
He says, do you realize that you actually got to work with the Beatles and did a book on them that's, you know, well accepted, and then you turn around and did it with the other biggest band in the world? No one's ever done that before. And I go, wow, that's kind of messed up. I guess that's good, you know.
Stones Gear comes out February 4th. An historic document, says Babiuk, digging deep into the soundtrack of one of rock's greatest bands.
What were the tools of the trade? How was the music made? You know, so that to me was really important. That was kind of the premise of it.
Seth Voorhees, Time Warner Cable News.